Hello, everyone. Welcome to Author Spotlight. This is Chris Dao-anis, a book coach and the host of this program. Tonight, we have a guest, and she is none other than Miss Crystal Ann Furonda. She's a young professional. She is also a freelance online executive and a former OFW. She graduated at SLU with a degree in BS Industrial Engineering, and she started writing in her elementary days as part of the school publication. She is fascinated with a lot of things. Among them are traveling, designing, and hosting. Yes, she does a lot of things. But now she is the author of the book titled Ground Zero: Finding Your Way Out of a Dead End. Hi Tala, welcome to Author Spotlight.
Hi, Kuya Chris. Hi,
Yeah,
everyone.
I'm excited for this. But before we dive in, um, what keeps you busy these days?
What keeps me busy these days? First, Kuya Chris, I'd like to say hi to everyone who's watching this. Thank you for tuning in. What makes me busy these days? So actually, as a young professional, first, my work makes me busy. I am a procurement and contract specialist in one of a pharmaceutical company here in the Philippines. And at the same time, I am a freelance virtual executive. I have clients mainly in the field of digital marketing. And of course, another thing that I'm not gonna say that it really makes me busy, but this is one of the things that I do in every week, which in I can say that it makes my hours per day count, which is my ministry work and learning new things. Like we have service every week, and I also do some like during this quarantine, a lot of things are being offered online wherein we can expand our knowledge, we can learn new things. So for me, those are the things that they're not making me busy, but they're at least making my hours every day count.
Wow, that's beautiful. You see, I didn't even mention her work, the ministry that she does, and I like how you put it. Na it's not to make you busy, but to make you even more productive and live every day as meaningful as it should be. So let's talk about you being an author now, because you recently wrote this book, Ground Zero. Uh, Tell us what moved you to write this book.
What moved me to write this book? Actually, having a book was my dream. It was funny. I used to tell everyone that I only have few dreams in my life, and number one is to have my own book. And then I remember when I was younger, I was telling that if I'm gonna have one book, then I am okay in my entire life. Just one book. I'm not thinking of having it printed for 100 of copies, just one book. Actually, this is my dream. So ever since, having a book or writing a book was my dream. However, 5 years ago, I started to write um manuscripts. However, like I cannot see or really, what do you call this, think of a right topic to write. So I have a lot of drafts and everything, and then there in the past 2 years I have this journey of ups and downs, um unexpected tragedies in life, stories of survivals, stories of pain, sorrow, joy, blessings, and everything. And in that moment, I realized that there's something in my experience that I need to share. There's something in my journey that I wanted to share to um, spark hope, to
Mm.
provide, to share light to others. And I realized in my journey, a lot of people are actually suffering. A lot of people are going into different journeys, especially right now. And it really moved me to write this one. It gave me courage to write the book, The Ground Zero, Finding Your Way Out of a Dead End, because I'd like to be an instrument to be or to share light to these people who are living in the darkness, who are living who feel stuck on in a dead end, or these people who feel so alone. And there's a lot of these people, especially the young people, and it really moved me to write the book, to finish the book, because I believe I have this story of victory, which is not actually my story. It is actually God's victory in my life, which I believe it is meant to be shared to other people so that it can spark light to them. It can enlighten them that there's always there's something more in life. There's something to live for in life.
Wow. Indeed, there's something to live for in life. And I like how you said it. It's God's victory in your life. Galing. And I'm excited to ask more about the message of that book. But let me just ask this parang technical question on the
Yeah.
writing side. How was your experience in writing your first book?
Actually, the experience overall, it was fulfilling. Actually, it was a dream come true. Because in starting to write a book was really difficult. Like, okay, I wanted to write a book, but when you're in the process of writing it, there are a lot of ups and downs. Um, it was fulfilling, but in the process, really, there are a lot of trials. There are a lot of things to overcome.
Hmm.
But that experience gave me the courage to pursue. I'm always going back to why I'm writing the book, and um, that is the one pushing me to finish it. Because writing a book is not like writing um, small articles for a newspaper, or like write kuya, diba? Sometimes we do write
Yeah.
um, articles for a certain newspapers or bulletins or other stuffs, but it's not like that. It's something that you need to give time. It's something that you should be dedicated with. It's something that you should be committed to do. And it's a journey of ups and downs, of um, saying yes and saying no, of going on and holding back. But at the end of the process, it was really fulfilling. It was really an indescribable feeling wherein you're able to come up with something that is not really for you, but for other people that will um, be reading it. Um, it's like what they call this, when it's like you're giving a gift to someone, and that's how the experience it. It's not, it's more of thinking about your readers and not really about yourself. It's thinking about it's putting your shoes on the readers, actually,
Mm.
and it makes the journey and the experience of writing a book more fulfilling.
Wow, really, it's fulfilling if you have it that way. And I like how you always go back to the reason, to the why. Sabi mo, it's filled with ups and downs, so you really have to be committed. But always going back to the why, and it's like having that gift that you want to offer really to the readers. That's beautiful. Now let's talk about that gift that you're talking about. Let's talk about your book. To whom is this written for?
Okay, the book is actually um, about my experience. So it's a real life story
Mm.
about endings and beginnings. So mainly it is intended for the people who experience tragedies in life, which is every one of us does. We all experience tragedies in lives, and
Mm.
sometimes it's leading us wandering in our life's own dead ends. So it is for these people who feel lost, who feel stuck in a dead end, those people who feels like they cannot move forward, to these people who feels hopeless because they cannot see a light, because what can they see is purely darkness because of the chaotic events in their lives. um, and of course, this is for the people who really wanted to begin again. This is
Mm.
for the people who wanted to experience life to the fullest, who wanted to spark hope to other people as well. And of course, this is also for the people who feel alone, who feels very alone. You know, Kuya Chris, kasi no, I realized that a lot of people are going through life's dead end.
Mm.
And I am blessed that I am surrounded with people whom I was able to share my experience with, my journey with. But I realized that a lot of people are going through the same journey, but they do not have someone around them. They do not have someone to talk to. They do not have someone to share with, and they feel so indifferent. They feel like they don't belong into this world. They feel that they're not supposed to feel what they're feeling.
Mhm.
And I want these people to know that what they're going through is okay. What they're feeling is okay. That they need to go through what they have to go through. They need to embrace what they're going through, and they also need to journey towards the beginning. So I'd like to journey with these people. Not everyone has the people, or not everyone are blessed to have people around them to share with. And this is intended for these people. This book is intended for these people. The structure itself, the structure is the book actually, Kuya, no? It's really intended that the readers will feel that they're not alone. The readers will feel that there's someone they're journeying with. So
Wow.
I'd like to share this book really to these people. A lot of people experiencing dead ends in life, a lot, especially the young people. So there are no age requirement for this, but especially to the young people who are actually experiencing this one, tragedies in life that they need to overcome.
Mm. I agree that like many people are struggling, and especially young people are seemingly stuck in what you say a dead
Mhm.
end, and they need that message that you want to say to them, na they're not alone. And uh, if we are to summarize in one sentence, kumbaga, the message of this book, the one big message that you want to tell these people who are or seemingly living in that dead end, in that dark, what would be that one message for them?
But one message that I really want to share, I actually mentioned it earlier. Um, your ending is your beginning.
Mm,
Um, you know, Kuya, ending looks so sad, di ba?
yeah.
Ending looks so sorrowful. Ending looks like there's no way forward. But that ending actually is the beginning. It is the ground where we can begin. It is just covered up by pain, sorrow. But if we're gonna look deeper to it, we'll be able to see that it is the start of everything. It is the exact ground that we're standing in where we can start. There's no way to start except in that ground that we are in.
Mhm.
And that's the message that I want to tell these people, to tell the readers that the ending is the beginning. Your ending is your beginning, because
Mm.
that is where we're going to start. We
Wow.
just need to look at it in the other perspective. We just need to um, focus on it in beginnings, instead of focusing on what we're feeling, instead of focusing to our inner pains in the darkness. Once we realize that we're in the ground of we're in the beginning, we'll be able to bloom. We'll be able to start sprouting in that ground.
Mm. This is a powerful book in a way that that big message alone that you said, your ending is a beginning. It calls for this big shift in perspective and how you see things, so that indeed you can have that ending as the beginning. And that's why you call this ground zero, di ba?
Zero.
So we'd like to know, of course, our viewers here really must read this book. I really encourage you to do so. But tell us, Tala, what is ground zero? And maybe ituloy natin, no, from that definition, what was your ground zero that you were sharing in this book?
Okay. What was ground zero, or what is ground zero? Actually, I mentioned in the book what ground zero is. So if we're gonna base it in the dictionary or in the web, the meaning of ground zero, it is actually the ground where chaotic things happen. Like, and it's very familiar to people. When you say ground zero, it is a place where a tragedy happens, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is also a vast ground that signifies beginning.
I like that.
And my ground zero started when there was a sudden loss of a loved one in my life.
Mm.
So it was the time wherein my entire life collapsed, and all I have is the ruins of my life. So it was actually the ground zero of my life. It was the ruins of my life. It was the ending of my life. There's no way to begin. There's no light, anything. And that was my ground zero. That was the beginning of my ground zero. But that exact ground was also my beginning. Um, Kuya, let me just share it to our viewers that our ground zero varies. We
Mm.
have different endings in life. Sometimes it's because life is about loving and losing, right? And when we lose something precious to us, something precious, it can be your job, it can be your health, it can be your relationship, anything very precious to us. When we lose it, um, there's a tendency for us to end up in a ground zero because when we lose something precious, right, Kuya, there's a tendency that our life will like will collapse all of a sudden. There's
Mm.
a tendency that we're gonna lose our reference point, we're gonna lose our direction, and then we cannot see how are we going to cope up with these events in our life. And as for me, my ground zero started when I suddenly lost a loved one, and um that experience led me wandering in my own ground zero, and at the same time led me into my own beginning.
Wow. It's really, I cannot put it into words, but as you describe, really that ground zero, it varies, and also how it happened in your life. I'm saying this because I saw uh, the moment when Tala lost uh, her loved one, her mother, and she talked about that in the book. And to me, that was devastating. And how much more in the case of Tala, right? How much more in your case? If that was devastating to me, how much more in you, who is really part of that, in in that very you see, in that relationship. So, but again, it doesn't have to be that case, right? It could be losing, as you mentioned, a loved one, anything that is close to you or dear to you, very important. uh Tala, if before we talked about how we can move out from this, which you did, and that's why I'm really rallying people to read this book, because you really went through the experience, and that's what makes this book so powerful. Uh, and for some time, you stayed in that ground zero. What happens if a person stay very long in ground zero?
Kuya, you know what I realized in my journey? No? The ground zero is just a place that we really need to face and we really need to pass by. It's not a place that we need to stay for
Mm.
a very long time. But it will always depend on how we're going to face it. But what I realized, if we stay too long in ground zero and we were not going to push ourselves to find our own beginning, what will happen is this ground zero will become our comfort zone.
Mm.
This ground zero will become our home. It's like, you know, kuya, when you stay in a place for a very long time, di ba? Parang ayaw mo nang umalis. Kasi,
Yeah.
oh, this is home. Sanay na ako dito. I know how to go to the market. I know how to go to the mall. I know the transportation. I know every corner of this place, something like that. And we were very comfortable to live there. And I
Mm.
experienced that, like when I work as an OFW, as you mentioned a while ago. I was a former OFW.
Mm.
So when I started to be familiarized in the place where I'm working it, I started to call it home. Like,
Mhm.
okay, I can go wherever I want. And similar to our ground zero, once we stay there for a very long time, it will become our comfort zone. It will become our home. Whatever we're experiencing in that ground zero that we are right now, we'll get used to it. And we'll be scared to move out of it because we'll think that it would be difficult for us to move. We're scared of change. We're
Mhm.
scared that things might not go our way. We're scared that tragedies might happen more when you go out of that place. Um, or something like it will be more confusing if you
Mhm.
will get out of where you are right now. But I encourage everyone, especially the one who's going to read the book and the one who's really watching this right now, that ground zero is just a place that we need to face head on. It's a place that we need to pass by. It's not a place that we should stay forever.
Mm.
It's just a place that we need to overcome,
Mhm.
because after that we'll know that we'll be experiencing victory in life.
Yeah.
And we should aim for to we should aim to see what is beyond the horizon. Because di ba kuya, pag nandun ka sa ground zero, nakikita mo yung horizon, hindi
Mm.
mo alam what's beyond that one. And natatakot ka kasi hindi mo alam kung ano yung nandoon. Pero in this ground, alam mo kung ano na yung nangyayari. Sanay ka na eh, na, ay, sanay na ako dito, sanay na ako sa pain, sanay na ako sa sorrow ko, and I don't wanna get out of it. But
Mhm.
there's more to life beyond that horizon, beyond what we can see, beyond what we don't know. There's more to life. That's why we just need to overcome this place, this ground that we are in right now. It is just a part of the journey na kailangan na nating lagpasan to. And then after that, there's more to life. There's greater things that we're about to experience.
Amen.
And um, it will help us overcoming this ground will help us to see the better versions of ourselves.
I love that. So to anyone who is at ground zero now, who is at a dead end, who is seemingly in the dark, there's hope. There's beyond
Yes.
that. There's beyond the horizon, and there are better days. There could be brighter days. Yes, face this, sabi nga ni Tala, but don't stay here. Right? It's a stage that you need to just pass by. So, Tala, to those who are excited to really move out of this dead end of this ground zero. Of course, there's a lot in the book, and I love it. Uh, Tell us, at least for this interview, your top three tips to move out from ground zero.
Okay. Ayun nga. Like what you said, Kuya, there's a lot in the book. Pero I'll be sharing top three. For me, these are the para sa akin basta striking talaga based on my experience. And um, first, na gusto ko sabihin sa kanila, if you're in that ground zero, is to acknowledge your reality. Dun siya magsisimula eh. It will begin there. We cannot proceed without really knowing where we are, without really knowing what is our reality, without really knowing what are we facing, what are we solving. Ano ba itong problema ko? Ano ba itong pinagdadaanan ko? Ano ba yung kailangan kong lagpasan? Ano ba itong kailangan kong isolve? So, kailangan ma-acknowledge natin kung ano yung reality natin. Di ba nga, sorry, I was in the engineering class when I was in college. And it was mentioned by Kuya Chris that I'm industrial engineer. Di ba nga sa math, di ba? Pag may ipapasolve sa atin, alala ko nung college ako, di ba? Pag may ipapasolve sa atin, di ba? Laging hihingiin yung solution. Kasi pag mali yung solution na ginamit mo, hindi ka mag-a-arrive sa tamang sagot. So parang ganun din dito. Let's acknowledge our reality. Kasi it will start there. Yun yung pinaka-origin on how we're going to find our beginning. We need to acknowledge asan ba tayo ngayon? What is the reality? What is this that I'm facing? What is this that I need to overcome?
Yeah.
And once we're able to acknowledge that, diba, okay, na, alam ko na yung reality ko. What's the next thing to do? Let's act. We have the thought of going out of the dead end. We have the thought of finding our beginning. Then let's put that thought into action. Let's act. Small steps, tiny steps. Hindi naman kailangan grand steps agad. Tiny steps will lead us out. Let's have that. All we need to do is to just act. Diba? Let's put those thoughts into action. Kasi hindi naman tayo makakalabas. Okay, gusto ko lumabas ng ground zero. I want to find my beginning. Pero it's all in your mind. Hindi ka naman gumagalaw. Wala ka naman ginagawa. So let's have the courage to act. Let's have that courage na, okay, I'll make one step at a time. One step forward, one step forward. And then you'll never know you're there already. And then, lastly, sa akin talaga, this is one of the most important thing is to surrender. Surrender our plan. Surrender our journey. There will always be joy in surrender. And it's very true. I've experienced that in my journey. We cannot handle things on our own, diba? So, akala natin, kaya natin lahat eh. Pero it is only through surrender that we will be able to get out of where we are. It is only through surrendering our lives that we will be able to get out of our ground zero. Because, diba, sabi nga ni Lord, diba, cast your burden to me and I will give you rest. Which is very true. Napapagod tayo as human beings. We're getting tired of facing our reality, of acting so that we'll be able to overcome this one. That's why we need to surrender. Because we have a limitless God who can help us on our journey towards our beginning. And there will always be joy in that. Sa akin yun yung pinaka take away ko sa journey ko. It is the moment of surrender that we will be able to find our beginning. Wow. That we will be able to find how are we going to start. Because we're surrendering. Diba? There are battles that are being won through surrender.
Yeah. I love that, surrender. Yes, we acknowledge the reality, we act on this, and then surrender. And it's like, I don't want to give it, kasi it's in the book. Pero let me just say it. No? Let me just say it. Kasi when you said about surrender, it's the moment when something really happened. And it's allowing na hindi lang ikaw yung talagang aangat, but somebody's reaching out to your hand. You said
Yes.
that in your book, and I
Yeah.
love that image. I love that picture, and that's the moment of surrender that you're describing. And there's more, to our viewers. This book will like hold your hand every step of the way, and it's beautiful. You will journey in this, and with this book, it will help you really find your way out of a dead end. There's more, and I thank Tala for really writing this book, and I'm excited that will be launching this book. There are several launches, I think, right? So there is like a group. You're doing it with another author, Felicia Gale. It's like
Yes.
a duo, and then you will be doing other launches. Tell us, invite our viewers for those launches.
Yeah. Um, I'd like to invite the viewers right now, and you can also invite your family and friends. We'll be having a launch this coming April 24. Is that correct? April 24, Saturday, right, Kuya?
Yes.
That will be the launch with the other author, Miss Farisha Gale. So catch up on April 24. So we'll be providing you the details. Just follow the page of Messenger of Hope. And we'll be having another launch on May 1, that is Labor Day. That is going to be the first virtual book launch of the book. So please to invite your family and friends, and I'd like to celebrate it with you. So we'll be doing it via Zoom, and also we'll be streaming it simultaneously live in Facebook. So just like my Facebook page, Shimmering Tala, um, and of course my YouTube channel, also Shimmering Tala. And also, if you want to join our Zoom virtual book launch, you can just message us in my page, and then we be providing you the details on how you can join us in our book launch. I'm inviting everyone. We're offering the book for reservation and pre-order. That is going to be for free. All you have to do is pay for the shipping. And since the book is going to be 100% for a cause, you can donate any amount. So it's not mandatory. Any amount will do, so that we can support the pediatric cancer patients of Northern Luzon. And another thing is that if you want, or if you know someone who needs to read this book, you can reserve a copy for them, and we'll send it to them. Just message us in my Facebook page, and we'll be providing you the details on how you can order the book.
Amazing. So join us on those book launches, April 24 with Felicia Gale, and May 1 on Zoom. And again, if you heard it right, yes, you heard it right. It's totally free. You just handle the shipping. But also, if you want to help the cause that she's helping out, give whatever you want to give as your donation. And thank you for your generous heart, Tala, and to those who will be helping this advocacy of yours. There's more that we want to talk about. I'll be inviting you again for Author Spotlight, but at least for now, give us your closing words.
Okay, closing words. First, I'd like to thank everyone who supported me from the very beginning, especially Kuya Chris, when I started writing the book, and everyone who helped me in my journey. I really like to say thank you to all of them, because there will be no ground zero if there are no if these people are was not there with me. But what I want to say to the viewers right now, and to those who are gonna watch this video, and of course to those who are gonna read the book, is that no matter where we are right now, let's not allow our sorrow to ruin our tomorrow. There's more to life. We cannot just see it right now, but great things are actually waiting for us. I'd like to share you this question, because actually it is in the book, but this question actually really turned my life around as well. From where are you right now? What is next? That is what I want to leave the viewers right now. From where you are right now, what is next?
Wow. Thank you so much, Shimmering Tala. To you watching this, what's next? Yes, as she said it, you heard it from her. Don't allow your sorrow to ruin your tomorrow. Thank you so much, Shimmering Tala, for sharing that and for coming up with this book, Ground Zero, Finding Your Way Out of a Dead End. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. We'll see you once again for the next Author's Spotlight.
Thank you. See you.